Good morning, boys and girls. It's great to be with you this Tuesday morning. I hope you've had a wonderful week. Today we're going to read another Bernstein Bear book, Why Do Good Bears Have Bad Days? It was the start of a beautiful day deep in bear country. Morning sunlight slanted down as a robin redbreast splashed in a fresh bird bath. At the Bear family's treehouse, brother and sister came bouncing down the front steps, ready for a day of fishing at the pond. Honey Bear was too young for a long bike ride, so she would stay home to play. The cubs stowed their fishing gear on their bikes and, waving to Mama, Papa, and Honey, eagerly set off. There they are, getting ready for their fishing trip. It was a long ride. Brother and sister pedaled down the sunny dirt road past Farmer Ben's farm, around the old honey tree, and through some shadowy woods to a little valley. There, tucked behind some willows, lay the pond. It was dark and still. Lily pads dotted the surface and dragonflies zipped to and fro. A fish leaped with a plop. "I'll bet that's the old granddaddy bass I've been wanting to catch," said brother. "Let's get our lines in the water and see if we can get a bite." There they are riding, and there they are at the pond. Brother and sister baited their hooks and cast out. Sister's line went right to the middle of the pond, but brother's snagged on an overhanging branch. "Rats," he said, yanking at his line. It was stuck fast. He balanced on a rock to pull it from a different direction, but his foot slipped, and with a huge splash, he fell into the pond. He stood up in the shallows, soaking wet. Sister couldn't help laughing. He looked so funny standing there dripping. There they are. Brother was not amused. Climbing out, he wrung out his shirt and pants. Then he discovered he'd dropped his fishing rod in the pond. He poked around, but he couldn't find it. "Oh no," brother groaned. "No more fishing for me today." "Don't worry," sister said. "I'll share my rod with you." "Thanks," brother replied. "Hey," sister hollered, "I think I have a bite." She began to reel in her line, but her pole bent over more and more. "Your hook must be caught on something," brother said. Sister yanked on her pole, trying to pull the hook loose. "Careful," brother said, but sister yanked harder. There was a loud crack as her fishing rod broke in two. The cubs stared at the broken rod. With sinking hearts, they realized their day of fishing was over. "It's not fair," sister said as they climbed back on their bikes. "We had the day all planned, and just like that," she snapped her fingers, "it's over." "Yes," agreed brother. "Where did we go wrong?" They slowly pedaled their way out of the valley and through the woods. At least brother was drying out. But soon they noticed it was getting harder and harder to pedal. Stopping, they found that both bikes had flat tires. Big nails were stuck in each tire. "What lousy luck," said brother. "First we lose our fishing rods, then this." "It's not fair," said sister again. "We don't deserve it." There they are with the bike's tires flat. Glumly, the cubs walked their bikes homeward, but it was awkward wheeling the bikes along on flat tires. They made their way around the old honey tree and were passing Farmer Ben's place when they heard a distant rumble. "Uh-oh," said brother, "thunder." They tried to move faster, but dark clouds gathered, and the thunder grew louder. Suddenly, rain swept over them. The cubs were drenched in seconds. The storm quickly passed, but the cubs were thoroughly cold, wet, and miserable. They've just had bad luck all day. "This is too much," said Brother. "First we lose our fishing rods, then we get flat tires, and now we're soaked." "It's not fair," said Sister. "Why is this happening to us?" That's when they noticed Cousin Fred, Lizzie, and Susie coming down the road. They weren't wet. They must have found shelter during the storm. "Hi, Brother. Hi, Sister," said Fred. "What happened to you? Did you get caught in the storm?" "Yes," said Brother. "We've had a really rotten day. First, I fell in the pond and lost my fishing rod. Then Sister broke her rod in half. Finally, we got flat tires and were drenched by the storm." There they are. "Oh, that's too bad," said Lizzie. "You know, it makes you wonder why good bears have bad days." "My grandmother always said it's because God is punishing you for something," said Susie, matter-of-factly. "That can't be true," said Sister. "We haven't done anything wrong. Why would God punish us?" Said Fred. "You mean you've never done anything wrong in your whole lives?" "Well," said Sister, "I guess we have sometimes." "Then it's like my grandmother says," said Susie, shrugging her shoulders. "God must be punishing you for something. See you later." With a wave, their friends left Brother and Sister to squish their way home. There they are all talking. Back at the treehouse, Mama and Papa took charge, whisking Sister and Brother out of their wet clothes and pouring them mugs of hot chocolate. Honey had to some too. Brother and Sister felt better, but they were still upset about their bad day. "Mama," said Sister, "why did such bad things happen to us?" "We met some of our friends on the way home and they said God must be punishing us for something," added Brother. Mama and Papa burst out laughing. See them laughing? "What utter nonsense," said Mama. "God loves you and watches over you, even when you make mistakes. He forgives you if you're sorry and try to do better." "But ask Brother, if God is watching over us, why did he let all those bad things happen to us?" "Son," said Papa, "that's something folks have been asking for a long time. I think the best way to look at it is that God watches over us, but He doesn't change the way the world works for our comfort. He's not going to cancel a thunderstorm just because we happen to be outdoors." There they are talking. "Then how does God watch over us?" wondered Sister. "I believe God watches over that which He created deep inside us," said Mama. "That special part of us that belongs to Him and has faith in Him." "What do you mean?" asked Brother. "Well," said Papa, "in church, you've heard Preacher Brown talk about our souls, haven't you?" Brother and Sister nodded. "Our souls are the part of us that God protects and saves from danger," Papa explained. "No storms or accidents can hurt our souls if we have faith in God." Brother and Sister thought it over. It was a little hard to understand, but it did make them feel better knowing God was watching over them deep down inside. And the hot chocolate made them feel better too, but not as much as the big warm hugs from Mama and Papa. There they are all hugging. And you know, all of us have bad days and we wonder, why did that happen to us? And we know God is watching over us and He's always with us. And we just have to remember just to turn everything over to Him. Just ask Him to be with you and take care of you. And He'll always be there for you. So I hope you've enjoyed our story. I've enjoyed our time together and I can't wait to be back with you next week. Don't forget, I'm still looking for some pictures from the Jesus and the children that I mailed out. And next week we're going to do something really, really fun. So you be with me next Tuesday and we're going to have some fun. And remember, God loves you and so does Miss Susan.